Hello, Arthur, my dear, and all my wee, medium, and tall peeps. How are you all doing today? Last day of Mother Goose. So it's going to be a little bit longer. Up in a green orchard, there is a green tree, the finest of pippins you ever did see. The apples are ripe and ready to fall, and Reuben and Robin shall gather them all. If I were an apple and grew on a tree, I think I'd drop down on a nice boy like me. I wouldn't stay there giving nobody joy. I'd fall down at once, say, "Eat me, my boy." Tom, he was a piper's son. He learned to play when he was young, but the only tune that he could play was "Over the hills and far away. Over the hills and a great way off, and the wind will blow my topknot off. A diller, a dollar, at 10 o'clock scholar, what makes you come so soon? You used to come at 10 o'clock, and now you come at noon. Sing a song of sixpence, a pocket full of rye, 24 blackbirds baked in a pie. When the pie was opened, the birds began to sing. Wasn't that a dainty dish to set before the king? The king was in the counting house, counting out his money. The queen was in the parlor, eating bread and honey. The maid was in the garden, hanging up the clothes. Along came a blackbird and pecked off her nose. Humpty Dumpty sat on a great wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. The Queen of Hearts, she made some tarts, all on a summer's day. The Knave of Hearts, he stole the tarts and took them clean away. The King of Hearts called for the tarts and beat the knave full sore. The Knave of Hearts brought back the tarts and vowed he'd steal no more. Old King Cole was a merry old soul, and a merry old soul was he. He called for his pipe, and he called for his bowl, and he called for his fiddlers 3. Every fiddler he had a fiddle, and a very fine fiddle had he. Oh, there's none so rare as can compare with King Cole and his fiddlers 3. Hey diddle diddle, the cat's in the fiddle, the cow jumped over the moon. The little dog laughed to see such sport, and the dish ran away with the spoon. Little Jack Horner sat in a corner eating his Christmas pie. He put in his thumb and pulled out a plum and said, "What a good boy am I." Old Mother Hubbard went to the cupboard to get her poor dog a bone. But when she got there, the cupboard was bare, and so the poor dog had none. Jack Sprat could eat no fat, his wife could eat no lean, and so between the two of them, they licked the platter clean. Almost a tongue twister there. There was a crooked man who walked a crooked mile. He found a crooked sixpence against a crooked stile. He bought a crooked cat, which caught a crooked mouse, and they all lived together in a little crooked house. There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and spanked them all soundly and sent them to bed. There was an old woman who lived by the sea, and she was merry as merry could be. She did nothing but carol from morning till night, and sometimes she caroled by candlelight. She caroled in time, and she caroled in tune, but none cared to hear but the man in the moon. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Rub-a-dub-dub, 3 men in a tub, and who do you think they be? The butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, they have all gone off on a spree. Starlight, star bright, first star I see tonight. I wish I may, I wish I might, have the wish I wish tonight. And last of all, if all the world were an apple pie, and all the sea were ink, and all the trees were bread and cheese, what would we have to drink? It's enough to make an old man scratch his head and think. Hope you enjoyed. See you tomorrow. Bye.